down to another tag video, and I'm going to use the other kit today. And as you can see, I've got a little notebook here. I like these little notebooks, they're from Hobbycraft, come in dead handy. So I'm going to take the staples out of this book to remove all the pages, and I am going to, you can tell, can't you, I've got a preconceived idea of what I'm going to be making. This paper napkin, it's got 1/4 that has got all these sparkly bits on. I'm going to leave those, and I'm going to use the other bit of the napkin and use it as a cover on my journal. So that's why I need to take my journal apart. So I'm going to go off and go and do that. I'm going to remove the layer from off the back of the napkin and attach it to the front cover of the book. See you back here in a minute. I've been a busy little bee since we last spoke, so I've stuck down the napkin on the front of the cover with the Scotch glue stick, and I've stitched around the edge 3 times with some straight stitching, made it all a little bit higgledy-piggledy, and I've inked up the edges of the cover with old paper. So I've done that. I did stitch around the postcard that's in the kit. I wished I hadn't now, but anyway, there we go, because the card was too thick for my sewing machine. So I did a bit of straight stitching and some zigzagging. I've also got some lace here, which wasn't included in the kit, but it was part of one of the parcels that I was selling in my pop-up shop, was this particular lace, and I'm going to go off and go and dye it in a moment with the old paper so that it's got some greeny hues in it. In the meantime, I just want to use that as my guide, because I want to stick this postcard on the front of my cover at a slightly jaunty angle. I love that word, a jaunty angle. That will sit at a jaunty angle just about there, because I want to put one of the tags in that I'm going to make from the kit. Right, so that's my jaunty angled pocket, and as I say, I will add some lace on here too. I'll probably add some more embellishments on it later, but for now that will do. I took one of the long pieces of card that was in the kit, and I used this embossing folder, and so I've embossed one of the pieces of card, which is this one here. And I'm going to use my trusty piece of plastic, just trim that top straight edge off, my trusty piece of plastic that I've angled already, as my guide for cutting off the angles. And I'm going to cut, so I've got a short one and a long angled one, so I'm going to use the long angled one, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the same on the opposite corner. I've got some metallic gilding polish, which you've seen me use several times before, and I've also got some Nouveau embellishment mousse. I've already tested it out on a little sample piece, and this one's too pale, so I'm going to use some of the gilding paste. Just tap a little excess off and just gently run it over the top. But it now adds that bit of glim and glamour, so that it matches with those gold metallic bits that are on the front cover. If you can see that, all metallic and shiny. There we go, because that was as straight as a donkey's hind leg before. And I've got this lovely little punch, which looks like this. And people have asked me where I got it from. I just saw it on eBay and was like, oh, I'm having myself one of those. But I think it's called a ribbon weaving punch or ribbon punch, and it just punches out two slots at the top. And then I've gone into my stash and just got out some pink seam binding, just because the colour is going to go better. So through to the back, through to the front, and then I'm going to add a little bow on there, trim me off some angles. And then there was a leaf and a bulb pin. So I'm going to add the leaf onto the bulb pin and then add that to the ribbon. So that can then sit in there, and the leaf and the bow can sit over the top, looking all pretty and decorative. So there we go. I'll probably end up doing some inking up around the edge of this. I might even add some more decoration on it as well, but just to start with, just doing a little bit of simple embossing and then using some gilding polish or some other form of metallic sort of paste. Add that on top, add a simple bow and a bit of a charm, and you've got a pretty looking but simple tag. Onwards and upwards to the next tag. So I'm going to use one of these pre-punched ones. Again, I'm going to just shorten the length. Now I want to put some of this paper on the front, so I'm going to use that as my guide as to how long I want it to be. And I want a little gap at the bottom so that I can form a border. And then this piece, just see where I want to cut it. There. So if I fold that over, and then if I just trim off that folded edge. So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to ink it up with my vintage photo. And I'm also going to do the tag as well. So I'm just laying this piece of paper that I'm going to glue on top of the tag in a minute next to the tag, so that I can position where these three cards are going to go, and you'll see why in a moment. Just want to make sure I've got the positioning right. Okay, I could go up a bit. Okay, about there. And I'm just going to mark on the tag the corners, so I'm just going to quickly draw around them with a sharp pencil. And the next one. So what I want to do is I want to find out where the centre point is roughly. So it'll be about there, there, and there. Now, one of the things that I didn't include with the kit, sadly, sorry about that girls, so I've only just thought of this, is some magnets. So I've got some really small tiny magnets, and I do have these in my Amazon affiliate link. So if you have a look in the description box, ooh, come on, have a, shooting off everywhere. If you have a look in the description box, you will see a link to my Amazon, and there's a section on magnets when you click on the link. I just want a little magnet inside underneath each of the cards, because this paper is quite thin, so I know that the magnets will be attracted to each other through the thin paper. If it was thick paper it wouldn't work, or it might work but not as well. And then I'm going to sit this then on top. Okay, I also want to put a magnet on the back of each of these, so I need to make sure that I've got the magnets attracting the right way around. So if I put the magnets on the wrong way around, they won't attract to each other. There we go. Okay, and again I'm just going to put the tiniest of dots of my glossy accents onto that magnet, and then sit that card on top of it. Yep, too much, Carol, too much, quick. Call the fire brigade. I don't want it oozing out onto the paper underneath. Okay. And the third one. So I'm just going to sit that to one side to just let the glue take off a minute. And then I'm going to take these bits of paper and fold them in half, because I've already checked the size of them. And again, just cut along that folded edge because it gives me a nice straight edge to follow. Okay, let's use one of the others as a bit of a guide. So this is going to concertina. Off now. Just trim that edge off. Okay, let's take this middle one off, see if it'll come off. We did. Ooh! Okay, a little bit of micropore on the back to just hold it in place. Right, now I just need to check which way around I need my fold to go, because I want that sat on the back. So it might need to concertina the other way. that is perfect, because I want this white edge attached to this, and I want this white edge attached to the back of this card. So let's just glue that in place. It's not the most perfect of folds, but it will achieve, hopefully, what I want it to. And if it doesn't, I can trim it down. So if I stick that on the back of the card, and we'll just see if the magnet can attract through all of those layers, because it might not. Let's just have a look. Oh, it does. Not massively secure. I'm going to take 2 of those off, I think. That's better. And then put glue on the back piece. So then that will open up to reveal a secret little writing space, and the magnet will just hold it all in position. So then that will then flip open. So I'm going to go off and go and do these 2. I'll see you back here in a sec. That's my 3 little secret hideaway books now in place. So they open up like so. So that you can do a little bit of secret scribbling in there, and to look at, it just looks as though you've made a pretty tag. And then there were 2 pieces of tulle netting in here, so I'm just going to cut one piece in half lengthways and lay one on top of the other, and then scrunch that end up and poke it through the hole. It'll go. Come on. I want it about there. And I can trim off some of this excess. So all I've done is I've just poked those 2 pieces through the hole, and then I'm going to get my bit of seam binding. Place it underneath, bring it round to the front, tie a bow so that I pull in that tulle netting to make it all nice and frilly and gathered at the top. And then trim that off a little bit. You can see that bow at the top, and then that's what the tag looks like. And as you can see as well, I've done my normal faux stitching around it as well. So that's that tag now complete. I want to make another tag that is also going to be a little bit of a secret hiding place for some journaling, and I want to use this book page. Now there's one thing that really is when it's got a lovely picture on the front and a lovely picture on the back. Frustrating. So I want to be able to see both images. So I'm going to cut this into a tag shape. So I want it to be the same width as this grey card. So as you can see, look, it's too wide, so I need to trim it down a bit more. And a bit more. See, if I measured it, it'd be much quicker, wouldn't it? Okay. Right. So I need my card again. So I want to cut off this top edge, and I'm going to do the short stumpy angle. Okay. Might take a little off the bottom as well. Now I know that the pictures are centred because I held it up to the window to let the light shine through, so I could check where the image on the back was. Oh, not far off, look, close. Okay, now I'm going to cut the piece of grey card to the same height. Hopefully, yeah, that's the right size. Okay, so we've got the three elements now, so I need to stick this paper onto that piece of grey card. So let's get that bit done. Then I can trim this excess off here. I can sit that back on there. Now I'm pushing this against the right hand side. Because I then want to use my washi tape so I need to put a line of glue right on the edge of the card on the left, and also on the edge of this book page. And then put the washi tape on. And then put some on the back, so that that will then curl over. And then trim off that angle. And so to look at that, you wouldn't know that that is going to flip open. And I just want to put some washi tape on this side as well to form the hinge. I can just punch a hole in the book page itself and add a normal piece of seam binding. In fact, I might add two. I might add a bit of purple and a bit of pink, seeing as there's purple and pink in the washi tape. and in the flower. I ripped it. I ripped my hole because what I should have done was I should have put a reinforcer ring on the front and the back, and that would have protected it. But what I can do is use some of my leftovers. See, even if you make a mistake, we can do something with it and get it right. Serves me right. I should have put a hole reinforcer on it. And then we'll bend that over the top. And we'll punch a hole in that. There we go. So that's another one done, where it becomes a little journaling spot, but also you get the effect and you don't lose out on both of those beautiful images. So to just finish off this particular video, as you can see, I've put the lace on the cover, and I've put the bead trim on, and I've put some buttons on as well. I dyed it with the old paper ink, and then the tag that's inside that pocket at the front, added a little picture at the bottom and put leave a little sparkle wherever you go. So that's for that one. And then inside with the paper bag, if you fold the paper bags in half lengthways and include it in your signature wherever it may be in your journal, these long thin tags actually fit beautifully inside those pockets. I've just got to be careful with this one because of it being dimensional, but as you can see, that fits in there nicely. The same with the paper bag excuse me, that the kit comes in. We can use this in our journal, so we could add that this way on, wrap it around the pages, and then you could trim off this bottom edge, so then you've got a pocket from that side. So we can use both of the paper bags that are in the kit. And then there's the two tags that we've just made. So there's the little secret one that opens up, and also on the back I added one of the verses from off one of the pages, and that now acts as a little pocket on the back, so that can go in. And then of course there's this one, which is the little secret journaling spot tag, so it's got the three little flip out journaling spots there, held by magnets. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video and what I've shared with you to make with this particular kit. I've got one more video to show using these particular products, so I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.